those of you that don't know, LaunchPad is a fully browser-based online resource that includes a lot of different tools. So we'll go ahead and log in right here. And when you log in, you'll go to a landing page that provides you with a couple of different course options. You can create a course, you can enter an existing course, you have the ability to copy a course, so it's kind of your course management tool right here. I've got a couple open just from doing a couple different demos, but we'll go ahead into a closed one just to kind of see what a course looks like and how we set it up for you. Take you to a landing page for the specific course. We've got a couple of RSS feeds down here from Scientific American and The Economist. Handy little tool for showing some content that I've already assigned. So if we enter the course, you'll notice that we've already got the course set up with, it's broken down into chapters, and within each one of these content areas, we have a few different activities, general navigation things. You can search course content using the course bar in the upper right-hand corner. We have the ability to look at just the ebook, gradebook, course calendar, and then some other settings over here on the left-hand side. But if we just go ahead and take a look at some of the content, I've already assigned some things from Chapter 2. So assigned content flows to the top of the LaunchPad here. I think I've got it set to be due this Friday the 18th. So anything that's due within the next 7 days is going to show up at the top of the LaunchPad. We click to open this bar here. You'll notice that there's a little to-do button next to every single thing that's got an activity that students can complete. So if we take a look at some of the things that we have available, under section 2.2, take a look and expand. We've got activity 2.1, which is an interactive activity where you can kind of click through and you're going to try and match the term to the image, and your students can click through and complete these. These are graded on completion. Note that we have the assignment details up here. It's due December 18th at 11:59 p.m. Take a look at some other different things. Section 2.3, we've got another activity. 2.5, we have a quiz and an animated tutorial. Animated tutorials are actually linked out from the textbook. They give students an option to either work through individual steps with the help of animations that kind of bring life to some of the images in the textbook. And then they also have the option to work through a fully narrated video as well. And then with each of the animated tutorials, we have the ability to assign a short quiz to kind of check for understanding. So this is a graded option. Again, assignment details are up here at the top. We can see that it's due December 18th at 11:59. Assigning content in LaunchPad is really easy. So if I've assigned everything from Chapter 2 already. And if we take a look in the gradebook, we can kind of see what's available for students to complete. We have activity 2.1, activity 2.2, and then each of the quizzes, which are graded, based on the score earned. We also have the ability to assign individual items. So say we want to assign the activity 3.3, features of amino acids. We click assign right here on the individual content item and not the chapter. Then we'll bring up a pop-up box and say we want to assign this Wednesday the 23rd. We can set it for 5 points. We can, edit some of the details here and click Assign. And that's going to go ahead and flow to the top of our LaunchPad landing page. Those are some of the basic homework activities. Those are kind of built into the ebook. So just a quick, navigation thing. We take a look at the ebook sections, get a little bit better of an idea of how the ebook is laid out. Moving between pages is really easy. We can read on from here. Within the text, we have different glossary terms that students can click on and see things from there. And then activities are built into the LaunchPad too. So if we click on, then we'll be able to link out to Animated Tutorial 2.1 from the ebook page. couple other options. I know we're focusing on homework in this presentation, but some other things that are useful for teachers. We do have our learning curve activity, which is a hit, especially in the science field. This is our adaptive quizzing software, and I won't go into too much detail, but basically this can be used in a variety of different ways depending on how you set up your course. Some instructors like to use this as a pre-reading activity. Some like to use it as more of a kind of a practice for a test. If we preview the activity and we'll just work through a couple questions, you'll notice a couple of things. The target here is to fill up this activity bar. You'll notice our target score is 750, and working with this activity, students have the ability to get a certain number of points based on whether or not they answer this question correctly. If we take a random guess, you'll notice that the opportunity to score those points goes down a little bit. And if we get the answer correctly, we've only scored 5 when we could have scored 15. Learning curve really forces you to read the textbook. You notice that this link in the top right corner here, we can link out to an ebook page with a small section of text. It doesn't give the students the answer directly, but they have the ability to read and find the answer. Take a look at the next question. We can also get a hint where clicking that will remove one of the distractors. And then each time they do that, though, the score that they can get on that question goes down a little bit. They can also, if they're having a tough time, then they can click Show Me and get to that question. At any point in time, they can also quit out and return to the learning curve. For you as an instructor, you can kind of see some results from the activity. You can see who completed the activity, how many questions they received, the activity score that they got to. And a really useful tool for your instruction, you can kind of see the class breakdown of how well students did in particular topics. So we see that this section on lipids are, I don't even know what that word is, hydrophobic molecules. We see that the class did pretty well at 84%, but maybe this topic here, 55%, biochemical changes involve energy, might need a little bit more class instruction time. And one other thing that we do have available, and I won't go into too much detail, we offer a summative quiz in each chapter. These, for this particular title, each quiz is 20 questions. We do offer a full test builder in LaunchPad, so you have the ability to edit this test or create a new one with a test bank. You can add new questions. You can access all of the questions for the entire book, and it's pretty intuitive to work with from there. A couple other things as far as assigning content that are really useful. Like I said, we can assign any individual item or a full chapter. At any point in time, though, we can also view our calendar, and from here we'll see all of the content that I've assigned. The nice thing about this is we say, I assigned everything for Friday the 18th, and we might get through all of the activities and the animated tutorials if we really power through. But if I say, we're not going to get to the learning curve in time, we can easily shift it over to the 21st, bump it into next week, and use that as kind of a pre-test, and we'll go or a practice test rather, and we'll assign the summative quiz for the 24th. So that is an option as well. Other general navigation things, like I said, we see that the course isn't active. This is a product that you'll have to activate and kind of email out to your students so they can access, but it's pretty simple to do that. You also have the ability to preview LaunchPad as a student, and if we do that, we can kind of see what the activities look like. You'll notice that when we preview as a student, we can kind of hover over Chapter 2. We can see that there are 5 graded activities that we need to complete, and then the score for the graded activities.